Hi everybody, and welcome to my passion project presentation. This is the Mustang Project. So, I'm going to start the presentation by asking a question. What is the Mustang problem? And I'm assuming most people are not going to know the answer to this question, which is good because that's what my presentation is about and why I did the project in the first place. So the problem is that there are currently over 36,000 up to 50,000 wild Mustangs and burros currently being held in holding pens all over America because of overpopulation issues and lack of land due to farmers needing more space for cattle. A Mustang will live in a pen for the rest of their lives once they get into one, which can be up to 30 years. So put simply, my passion project is raising awareness for Mustangs and burros currently in holding pens through the use of my art, specifically in my community. My adult mentor is Magda. She's the owner of Bay Area Ridge Riders, which means she takes people on endurance rides and trail rides. She owns 3 Mustangs, all of which come from holding pens, and she owns a horse named George that is a Mustang, and I ride him regularly, and he was one of the main reasons why I really wanted to do this project, is because I really fell in love with Mustangs, and she helped me do that, and she's been an amazing mentor through the whole project. Another main reason behind wanting to focus on this topic was also my core hours, which were also connected with horses. I received all of my core hours from BOK Ranch, which is a ranch that helps children and adults with disabilities, like people on the autistic spectrum, or people with degenerative disabilities, through horse therapy or hippotherapy. And I really began to really respect horses and how they can really help people. And I learned a lot through the experience, and it definitely gave me more motivation to focus on this in the project. The hallmark that I chose is we educate for and act on behalf of justice and peace in the world, which is hallmark 3, because this whole project focuses on educating others about a problem, social injustice, and hoping that it'll eventually fix the issue. My design thinking steps for empathize, obviously, we're empathizing with the Mustangs and burros currently in the holding pens. Define what they really need is adoption, because you can buy a Mustang for nothing. Like, you can walk in and say, hey, I want a Mustang, and they'll be like, sure, pick one, and you can just leave with a Mustang. They're completely free because of the overpopulation issue. But in order for people to learn that, you need awareness. So for Ideate, I'm focusing on raising awareness. For the prototype, my ideas included, at the beginning, there were a lot of them. I was going to have a fair, I was gonna have a stand at the Burlingame Market, like, fair thing that they have, and I sent a couple emails in, and it turns out that was impossible because it was a school project and I didn't have a permit. So instead I focused on movie nights and stickers, and that's what I ended up sticking with for my testing section. Oh geez, okay. And in this section, for testing, I held the movie night. It was really fun. We watched Unbranded, a really good documentary of these guys who ride Mustangs that they trained themselves, who were in holding pens, and they ride them all the way from the Mexican border up to the Canadian border. So they ride through all of America, and It's pretty crazy. The documentary is really good, and I think the people who went to the movie night really enjoyed it. I sent out a school-wide email, and George posted about it on social media. I also made stickers, so I have 3 stickers that I made and then printed and then handed out in all of my classes and in the movie night. And George handed them out too. So that was one, that was the second one, and then that was the third, and I really like the third. And for my timeline, in November, I started my preliminary drawings. December, I started to digitize the drawings, and then I started to do research on how I was going to print them out. Around December is when I tried to get into the fair and couldn't. January, I planned the movie night, sent out the mass invitation, that kind of thing happened, social media. And then in February, I just finished handing out all the stickers. So the movie night was in January. Last but not least, what can you do? The best thing to do is just talk about it. Hopefully after watching the presentation, you will bring it up at home, talk to your parents about it. Like when your parents ask you, like, what did you do today? You say, well, guess what I learned? I learned about horses, yeah, and how they are not doing so great right now. And that kind of thing will help people, I think, normalize the issue, and more people will talk about it, and hopefully, at least in my own community, people will actually recognize it as an actual issue, and that would be really good. And that's it. Okay.